we go for launch.
5.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
4.
My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer.
This whole thing is insane.
3.
Quiet, please. I am analyzing.
Where's the kaboom?
2.
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
1.
Greetings, my fellow galactic travelers, and welcome back to Planet 8. This is your mission commander Larry speaking to you from our hidden base. Chief Engineer Bob is here by my side as always in the command center, and circling Planet 8 in our orbital spy satellite is Reconnaissance Officer Karen. And on this all-video episode of Planet 8, we're going to be discussing the good, the bad, the ugly of what is going to go down in history as the supposedly worst year ever, 2020.
Just can't bring yourself to say it.
Up to the satellite. Walker, straight out of the gate, what is something that you just, it didn't fit well in your perception of a good year?
Well, I thought we were going to have to beep you there, Larry, just for a second to keep our PG.
It's almost after dark, so
yeah, we're getting close.
Well, what's stuck in your craw from 2020?
So this year's Prometheus, for me, you know how I feel about Prometheus.
Yes,
was Star Trek Picard. Yes, I was very. I had such high hopes, Larry. I had such high hopes for Star Trek Picard. I was very excited about it. I thought, oh, okay, this sounds interesting. We're going to have stuff with the Romulans, and we know, they're feeding off the whole thing with the Romulans, their home world being destroyed, and Picard coming in. He tried to save them, and then all this stuff, and then something with the Borg, and this sounds interesting, and Data's involved. It's like, oh, this sounds very exciting. What could it be? And I have to say, I just thought it was a real boop show. It just didn't do it for me. I thought it was pretty terrible, and especially the ending. I just could not take it. I was deeply, deeply disappointed in it.
I know every week we would talk about it, and you were just like deeper and deeper, like, oh.
Yeah. So that was both bad and ugly as far as I'm concerned. That portrayal of the Federation, Starfleet is just, they were going very dark Trek. And don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed some dark Trek in my time. DS9 is one of my favorite Star Trek shows, if not my favorite. But, man, it was just bleak and I don't know. And there was a lot of nonsensical stuff. There were some episodes, it seemed like about a third of the episodes didn't really move us anywhere. Yeah, I just didn't, it was like the conclusion to Picard that I didn't need to see. So, yeah.
Well, this episode of Planet 8, you and I have already gone back and forth on whether this worked or that worked or whatnot, but we're going with your poo-poo list, and we're going to stick to it. So,
well, I gotta agree. I mean, I think we talked about this before on the episode, but I felt kind of the same way about Picard. But what do you think of Discovery this year?
Well, it's funny because the first couple of episodes I was like, oh man, they're just doing the same stuff that ticked me off before, but there's a few things that I've started thinking about. I think that this is the things that still bother me about Discovery are essentially that I feel like they come up with these really bad science fiction premises that they tried to build the entire season around. This year it's the Burn. Last year it was the Red Angel, and I feel like they don't really have a good grasp of science or science fiction, so that bothers me. But I think what they're trying to do with this show is that this is a show more about emotion than it is about logic or reason. and that's a different thing for Star Trek, and it's not necessarily something I want to watch, but apparently a lot of other people want to watch it. So I don't know, it's a different type of thing to do with Star Trek, and I'm trying to look at it in a dispassionate way and understand what they're doing. But yeah, it's not exactly something I'm really comfortable with Star Trek. Like, the characters are crying every episode, and, there's not a lot of, I feel like things are not well thought out. Let's just put it that way. And you've got a main character who is constantly being disloyal to her captain, her crewmates, by doing her own thing. But I think they're taking that somewhere. I do think there's going to be a resolution. At first, I just thought, well, they're just saying this is the way she is, and that's what she does. But I think they're actually going somewhere with this.
Well,
if they don't, then it's...
I think they kind of addressed it in this last episode a little bit, between her and her mom, and...
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, she needs to learn something from it, I think, but... And I don't think maybe she's not really going to stay in Starfleet. I don't know. Because, chain of command is built on a sense of loyalty and, more to your crew, I think, even than to Starfleet. I mean, we saw, like, in the original crew, sometimes Kirk would go against orders in order to do things for his crew. Like Spock needed to go to Vulcan because he was in Pon farr, and he knew, if we don't show up for this thing on this other planet for 4 days, it's okay. I'll probably get court-martialed, but I have to save Spock's life, whatever. It was loyalty to Spock. It was loyalty to the people around you. But in this case, Michael just seems to have, like, no sense of loyalty. It's like, well, I think I know what's right, and I'm going to do whatever I think is right, which is a little disconcerting. So I think they're trying to take it somewhere. I'll see what happens this season. But yeah, it's an interesting way to do Star Trek. I don't know if I feel like it's really what Star Trek's intended to be, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it, so I don't know.
Hey, what the heck? I like this season more than last season, but yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. Larry?
The thing that bothered me this last episode, I love Discovery. I've enjoyed all seasons, all episodes. The imperfection that is Michael Burnham. If I could learn from my mistakes the way that people in the, under Kirk, the perfect human, I'd be quite a person. I make the same mistakes. I make poor choices, and Michael does that, and people know it, and yet they still try and believe in her, or they all went to the future because of Michael, a sense of duty, and Michael, and they get there, and then Michael's like, I don't want to do this anymore, and they're like, what? Anyway,
you dragged us all the way up here for nothing.
I agree with Karen. I think this is going somewhere. I think it's going rather slowly. I love the idea of Starfleet. I love the idea of the Federation. Karen and I had a discussion offline a couple weeks ago where sometimes the show gets the Federation and Starfleet confused, it seems like.
Yeah.
There is a very definite federation of planets, Starfleet being a component of that federation. Within that federation, there's diplomats, there's scientists, there's, warships, there's Starfleet. Anyway, we're going to go through this whole episode. What we need to do is have a Star Trek episode.
There you go.
Well, we probably will when Discovery finishes up or wraps up.
Yeah.
Before Picard season 2 starts up. But
So-
I enjoy Discovery, and we'll get into the reasons why. What bugged me, though, was the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And they're like, yeah, but the Romulans convinced us not to believe in our philosophies. And I'm like, what?
What are you listening to Romulans for?
I know. It's like,
Good God.
Anyway. Yet we know Romulans can be noble because of the people that were working with Jean-Luc. And I'll say, like, with Picard, it wasn't what I expected it to be. But the bookends with Data melt my heart, warm my heart, does justice to the character of Data. And we should do an episode on Data, because of all the characters in Star Trek Next Generation, Data grew the most. Data became more human than most of the humans, and his coda in Picard was worth all the craziness and ambivalence between the first episode and the last episode, in my humble opinion. That being said, Chief, what would you like to poo-poo for 2020?
2020. Yeah, I let Karen have Picard. I was going to talk about Picard, but
you let me. I would have wrestled you for that one.
We arm wrestled for it before the episode, and she won.
Dun, dun, dun,
She beat me. Dun, 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 dun. You know, I decided to go. See, last year before this, I loved The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was a great series. So I was looking forward to The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Not so good.
Not the same story.
Well, of course not. But I just thought, it's just so slow moving. Maybe it's building to something, but Lieutenant Debbie and I only got to like the 5th episode, and the 5th episode was this weird time shift episode. Now, in Hill House, they were time shifting all the time, going back to their childhood, coming back to present day and all that. This one was kind of time shifting within a shorter period of time, but they'd shift and then they'd go back and then they'd shift again, and then she realizes they're shifting and then they're doing it different. And we got about maybe 3/4 of the way into the episode, and I shut it off. And Debbie's like, thank you. And that's it. I'm not watching anymore. But no, I just thought, very typical. The characters aren't interesting. Even, it's like you've got the main character and you've got the gardener, and, both female. And they're in one scene, and you just know, kind of leading all the way up to it, it's like, okay, these two are going to kiss. They're going to be in a relationship. It's like, telegraphed everywhere. And it's just done more typically, like we need to have this in here. But, yeah, I don't know. Just the whole series is just, at least the first 5 episodes, I can do without it.
Well,
now,
Lieutenant Jasmine and I finished the entire season of that, or whatnot, episodes, and it didn't get much better.
Okay, well, that's good. Then I don't have to waste my time.
It ended very peculiar, in a very peculiar way, I thought. The relationship, I can appreciate what you're saying. That it kind of reminded me of Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd in Moonlighting, where they had more chemistry. These two characters did not have any chemistry, and it was kind of like they just. Well, anyway, no spoilers because some people.
Like I say, it was like you just felt, okay, here it comes, and it's going to be forced, and it's not going to be, It wasn't like a natural progression to that relationship.
Right.
It was just kind of like,
the nanny and the cook had more of an organic relationship, I thought. I could see them, kind of going somewhere. But anyway.
But yeah, I mean, Hill House, they had some really cool jump scares, and they had really cool, like, ghosts that would just kind of, like, show up in the background, and you'd have to, like, really look really close. And Bly Manor has some of those, but, I mean, just the impact and everything, it's just nowhere near.
It was a different kind of haunting, and it wasn't really a haunting. It was more of a curse. I don't know. And there was a love story in it, and that kind of threw things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a jealous boyfriend, but he's a ghost.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So that's about it. So well, Larry, what about you?
I agree with Chief on that one. Walker with Picard. I don't know. We need to discuss that a little more.
We can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree. I'm a very man half fool, as Walker will attest to.
Glass half full.
What I'm looking forward to is 10 years from now, 15 years from now, talking to Karen about Discovery, the way she talks to me about Star Trek Enterprise. Because
I knew you were going to say that.
When Enterprise came out, Karen was like, I can't, this is so un-Starfleet. They showed her ass. What does that have to do with exploring?
The shower scenes still piss me off because it was just gratuitous. It's gratuitous.
I still have nothing good to say about Enterprise, but anyway, that's for another show. Nothing has really ticked me off as far as watching programs. Nothing's really disappointed. I struggled to kind of think what was I'll tell you what bothered me, and I was actually hesitant to watch the second season just because of all the weird sex and there are just some things I don't want to know that superheroes can and will do, and that was The Boys, and it got really, really weird things while they were flying, and I don't know. I enjoy the story and the series overall. Carl Urban playing Butcha. It's a good story. It's a good show, but the his name's not Supreme. What's the Superman guy?
Homelander.
Homelander. Oh my God! Just
did you say T'Pring?
No.
I thought, what's his name? T'Pring? I was like, wait.
No.
Kind of
Supreme,
drugs is he smoking tonight?
Supreme, I thought was his name, but Homelander. Scary. Thank God he's not really existing, in the real world, because we'd be in a world of hurt. But anyway, yeah. If anything kind of bothered me, that would be it. Let's start off with the Chief. Chief, what did you like or enjoy? Maybe you didn't know you would enjoy it, but you ended up, or you were really looking forward to it, and it paid off in aces. What do you got for us?
Well, 2020 was a rough year for me personally. I haven't worked since April, so my collecting days are pretty much over until I can find me a job. But so there wasn't a lot of that in 2020. Although in July, I did go down to Brad Warner's place, and he gave me a bunch of his collection, so I did get a fix. But no, 2020, I got to say, let me see if I can get a shy here. Oh, no, not that one. It's Planet 8.
What?
There we go. We are recording this episode on November 27th. Which is actually the 55th anniversary of Gamera, the release of the original Gamera film. And in 2020, Arrow did release this box set of Gamera, all the Gamera films. Now, when Keith Aiken and I went down to the premiere of Shin Godzilla back in 2016, we had a meeting with Toho at their offices in L.A., and they were really jealous of James Bond, and they were really jealous of Gamera, because both of them had like all their movies in a box set. And the Godzilla rights are like all over the place, so you can't really have all the movies in one set. Now, they were able to wrangle all the Showa films into a set. That was at the end of 2019. Criterion released a set. But Arrow, I think, outdid them with this Gamera box. And it has all the Gamera films. It has dubs. It has subtitles. It has extras. It has cool artwork. Let me see if I can pull. Excuse me while I whip this out. So here's the main box that's in there. And you have pages with the discs in there, and really cool art by Matt Frank. I'm sure you can probably see
Oh yeah,
that there.
nice.
There's some more. So yeah, all the movies are in here with all the cool art. And then you also get
more.
Wait, there's more.
You get a book. And in this book is basically kind of the history of Gamera. A big old book with pictures, which is cool. See, Toho, you do stuff with Toho and they make you pay for every little picture you put in there. And then you get this book. And what is this book? This book collects all the old Gamera comics. All in one really nice book.
There were Gamera, well, of course there were Gamera comics.
Yeah, they're all the Dark Horse Gamera comics there.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't have those, you can get them in this set. Now the set, I think they did 500 copies of this set, and they sold out like within a week. And so it's really hard to get. But they are going
How much did that go for, Bob?
I don't know. I got it for free. I'll tell you why in a minute. But it was like $180 or something. It was pretty pricey. But no, Keith Aiken and I think I mentioned on the program before, we did the audio commentary for Gamera the Brave, which was the last Gamera film. So that was my payment, was they gave me a free set. But
nice.
Yeah, so Gamera, I always had a soft spot for Gamera. There he is.
Oh.
Because I do have a tortoise in my backyard that's been roaming my backyards for over 50 years now.
Does he shoot fire out the back?
He spins around once in a while.
Ah.
When you're not looking, you know. But, yeah, so I just thought, cool, Gamera, I'm all for Gamera. And then also this year, if I can I'm wearing my Gamera shirt. But I'm also wearing my Science Patrol hat. Because in 2020, Mill Creek started releasing all the Ultraman series on Blu-ray. And this is going to continue probably for another year and a half, 2 years, because they're just releasing like a couple series here and there. I think January is the next release, is Ultraman Taro. And I think Ultraman Orb just came out. But yeah, it's just exciting to have. I mean, pinch me, I'm dreaming. It's just amazing to know that all the Ultraman series are coming out in Blu-ray. Because I mean, I had pretty much all of them, but a lot of them were like Malaysian DVDs with really bad subtitles, or their old VHS tapes with no, just in Japanese with no subs, or whatever, just whatever bootlegs you could get. But now it's all official, and they're all bright and beautiful, and they look great. And when you buy these Blu-rays, you can get the digital on, I think it's on Tubi, Tubi, and you can put in the code, and you can have them all right there on your computer. So I used to, back when I worked, I used to bring my iPad to work, and I used to just throw them on and let them go as I was QCing equipment and stuff. So just those two things I think was amazing for 2020.
Nice. Well, hey, let's kick it up to the satellite. Karen, what have you got for us?
Well, I don't have anything nearly as inventive as Bob.
Inventive? Well,
because, you put a little thought into it. I was just sitting here going, 2020 sucks. An awful year. Has there been anything good? And I was like, oh, I know what's good. I know what I watched this morning. Mandalorian.
That's right.
It's an obvious answer. But I think we're now 5 episodes into the second season. And my mind is blown. I mean, it's like every Friday watching like a mini original trilogy movie. It's like a Christmas present. I don't know. I'm just thrilled with it. I know some people are saying, well, it's moving too slow. It's not.
Oh, no.
It's like No, just enjoy what you're getting. They're expanding the universe. And I know we're going to talk about Mando later on, so I don't want to get into any great depth, but
that's a plug.
Yes, we'll be talking about Mando later this year. But yeah, I'm really impressed with what they've been doing. You know, they took the first season to just sort of establish the characters, and now they're using this season to really expand the universe and bring in characters and things from the past, but in different ways. And I'm just, I'm thrilled with it. So it's nice towards the end of the year here to have that to look forward to each week.
I agree. I am blown away by The Mandalorian and the passion that, Jon Favreau, what he did for the Marvel Universe, cinematic universe, he's doing to Star Wars. Because, I'm not a huge fan of the last trilogy. It's not bad, but...
it's kind of bad.
But, Mando, God... I'm one of those people that watch Discovery and some of those key moments, like that one guy that been put in the, beacon for the Federation because his father was an officer and he asked, to help put up the flag. I shed a little tear. That touched the commander's, heartstrings in a tricky kind of way. But this last episode of Mando, when he's saying goodbye to the kid before Ahsoka, spoiler alert.
Hey, spoilers.
Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have. But, and it takes a lot for Lieutenant Jasmine to shed a tear. And she broke out tissue, and I'm like, oh, thank God she has a heart. She's, and I tell you, I'm gonna reach back here.
Your
his head disappeared. Oh my gosh.
Larry lost his head this episode.
Now we can't really see it.
Not going to be able to do it because of the graphic. Oh no. Anyway.
Kind of see Mando there.
You got to go with the organic backgrounds, you see.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done the fancy schmancy. Anyway, that sucker from Hot Toys, the detail, I'll throw it up on the next episode we do or something, or on the webpage.
On the Mando episode.
On the Mando episode, that's right.
That's right.
I mean, that baby Yoda that Jasmine got is amazingly detailed. And at some point, if we have time, Karen could talk about this very disturbing episode.
The Adam Savage. I tweeted about it. Yeah, Adam Savage nearly destroys baby Yoda so he can make its arms bend.
Or now we find out that Baby Yoda has a name.
Yeah, but
don't give it away. This is not the Mandalorian episode.
Let the viewers find out.
Okay, all right. I'm going to acquiesce to my my crewmates here, and I'm not going to say that.
December 22nd. We are releasing a Mandalorian episode. So
okay, we will talk about all the Mando surprises then, but. Boy, oh boy, oh boy! Yeah, that's a highlight for this year. I'm gonna ride along with Karen on that one. Look, there's a lot of good stuff out there. The Durrells, Widow goes to the island of Corfu. That's over on Amazon. That's a great series. The Cobra Kai on Netflix.
That was good.
Oh. Amazing. And I was arguing with my niece's boyfriend. He's like, no, really, it's really good. And I'm like, who cares? It's like telling Mussolini's side of the story. He's Mussolini. Who cares? But I digress. That was a good series. So if you guys
I didn't even watch the Karate Kid movies, and I really got into it. I binged that thing in I don't know, 3 days or something.
Yeah, really, really good. And I will tell you something, Jay, who does our shirts and stuff for us, long story short, he got himself an iPad, and so he hadn't been watching The Mandalorian or Discovery or anything because he just didn't have any, he had his phone. So he started watching Mandalorian. He came over yesterday. I set it up for him. he stayed up till 4 a.m. and watched the entire series of Mandalorian.
Well, we did that on I think it was Labor Day. Michael and Lieutenant Debbie and I watched the first 8 straight through that day.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's man.
We'd seen them, but we wanted to rewatch them before the new ones came on.
Our beloved chief for Halloween dressed up as Mando and had a baby Yoda.
God, I thought you were going to say had a baby. I'm like, what?
There's a lot of things happening in 2020.
Stuff that happens on Planet 8.
But anyway, that kind of sums up our all video episode of Planet 8. Any last minute?
Well, before the next one, we're going to have to get Larry a organic background. See, people think this one is a virtual background, but if I zoom out here, see, it's just a banner back there.
It's a trick. It's a Romulan trick.
It's just a banner.
It's a banner.
It's a banner. So.
Well, I want to plug our next podcast.
Yes.
Where we will be discussing.
Oh, look at that.
The Outer Limits on December 8th.
That's right.
One of my favorite shows.
I'm in the middle of a binge right now.
I'm almost through. I have a few more episodes to watch.
I'm not going to be able to watch every single episode, but I am pleasantly surprised. There's some episodes either I hadn't watched or forgot that I watched, and they are very, very good episodes. So
that's right.
It'll be a lively discussion.
Save it.
Oh, yes.
We'll be recording in a bit.
Okay, we'll stop. It's gold, Jerry, gold.
That's right. Don't give it all away now.
Hey, so you guys, we want to thank you guys for listening. Please comment on this, like it, share it. We'll be putting more videos out on YouTube. So thank you guys. Happy holidays. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Good luck finding the Gamera box set.
They're going to release all the movies without all the extra books and stuff. So
there you go.
If you didn't get it, you can still get it.
Okay.
It'll be coming out. Don't you worry. Or you can go on eBay and pay $bazillion for it somewhere.
Well, my friends, with that said, live long and prosper.
Stay safe.
Planet 8 out.
End transmission.
On that note, this will conclude this transmission from Planet 8. We would like to thank all of our intergalactic audience for listening. Be sure to head on over to our website at www.planet8podcast.com, where you can get more information on this episode's topic.
For more conversation, find us on Twitter at Planet8Cast.
Or on Facebook at facebook.com/Planet8Podcast.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in each and every episode. We look forward to your input and opinions. Until next time, this is Planet 8 signing off. End transmission.
By George, he's got it. It is the end.